Hello everyone, this is Ryan Xavier, founder of Galora, and welcome to the first working version of the Galora homegrown sharing website. This is what the homepage looks like. I hope you like it, and I hope it's going to be the great sharing site that we've all been waiting for. Today I'm going to show you what a listing looks like and then how to make it. From here, this is where your hungry neighbors are going to start their search process to see what's available. It's going to take them to a map like this one. This one is for Los Angeles. We've just got some sample listings here to show you what it'll look like. Each one of these icons represents a crop that maybe you might have listed, something like yours. I hope you'll be the first person in your community to post an amazing, original, and natural crop grown on your own home that you want to share with your neighbors. Let's take a look at one of the listings and then we'll try to make one for ourselves. If you click on any of these icons, you'll be able to go to a listing. The listing is going to look like this. There'll be some pictures along the top, a title here, a button for the neighbor to contact you, bookmarks, an ability for them to share with their friends, a photo gallery you can scroll through. I like to put pictures of my trees, my plants, but also the recipes and things I like to do with it to get people excited. So be an instructor. Show people what you do with it so they can feel equally enthusiastic. There's a section at the top where you can talk about yourself as a grower and all of your experience and your enthusiasm for growing. This is where you're going to talk about your crop in specific, the ones you are trying to sell or trade or give away. Tell people how delicious it is, give people recipe ideas. This is where you're going to want to do that. There's also a place where you can add a video if you got one, maybe a video tour, maybe some recipes, maybe just a little talk about yourself with some tips and tricks for growing great things. There's a special instruction section. We're going to talk about that as well as pickup options. This is what it looks like from the perspective of a hungry neighbor. Now let's make a listing. Let's go back to the home page and then we're going to click in the top right for a button to add listing. And now, if you've already signed in, you'll go straight to that. But if you don't have an account, you'll have to register. You can do sign in once you already do, and you'll go straight to creating that add a listing page, where we are going to go through the sections of how to make a nice listing that will eventually look like this one. It's pretty simple, just a few steps. Make sure you add a nice snappy title that describes the great produce, yummy lemons grown at home, nice and juicy. Whoop, is there an E in that? There you go, juicy. And then if you're selling them, you're going to put $3 for 10 lemons or whatever price you want to if you are selling them. This is where you talk about the lemons, talk about their taste, their texture, their sweetness, juiciness, everything that makes your particular crop special. If you have any recipe ideas, this is where you're going to want to talk about them. If you want to talk about the way you grow them, is the soil organic? Do you use pesticides? Do you use any kind of fertilizers that might be interesting to somebody who wants to learn about your crop? This is where you're going to talk about that. If you've got any photographs, you want to make sure you add them. Try to take nice ones during the daytime when it's nice and bright. If you're doing this on your phone, it's very easy to add pictures to your listing. If you're doing it on your PC, it's the same thing. You just click this button to add them to your listing. Choose as many as you can, as many as you like, and later on you can rearrange them. Just make sure you're choosing pictures that are going to get people enthusiastic. If you have a YouTube video of yourself or doing anything in your garden, giving a tour, talking about harvesting, talking about pruning, talking about recipes, this is where you're going to put the link to that. Make sure you choose the listing type is going to be homegrown food. This is where you're going to enter the actual kind of crop. Just type in a few letters and it's going to suggest it to you, the kind of crop you are adding. There you go. If you don't see your particular crop, just let us know and we'd be glad to add it for you. This is sharing options. Which one you're going to do? Is it free? If it's free, then you're not going to need a price up here, right? So you can take that off. If you're not going to give it for free and you're going to be offering it for sale, you're probably interested in doing trade as well, which means if somebody's got avocados and they offer you avocados for your lemons, you want to make sure you click that trade button so that they will know you're open to that kind of a transaction and they will contact you. Now we're going to do pickup options. This is where you want to make sure you're making it clear to everybody exactly how they're going to take their crop when they come to your house. Are you going to put it in a box and at an arranged time? on your porch or in your driveway? Are you going to let them into your yard so they can pick it themselves? Sometimes that's fun. Maybe it's okay with you. Maybe it's not. It's up to you. Are you interested and willing to take it to people who are mobility challenged, perhaps the elderly, perhaps somebody who can't come themselves? You can put that there. You can field each question independently, make your own decision whether or not you're willing to go so far, or how far you're willing to go. Or would you prefer nobody comes to your house at all and you're just going to meet at a Starbucks or a library or a nearby park? All of these options are up to you. I like to choose all of them to make sure that my hungry neighbors know that I am willing to work it out with them. This is where you talk about your particular property and anything they need to know. I'm going to say parking is tough, so park in my driveway. You can talk about whether or not you have a ladder. You can talk about whether or not they should text you or call you in advance so you can put the dog away. Anything that's specific to your property to make it a little bit easier for your hungry neighbor on the day that they come to visit you. Now we're going to talk about location. Location, location, location. Absolutely important that you enter a location. Otherwise, no one will know where your crop is and they might as well not even know what country you're in. So make sure you enter a location. If you click the button here, it will find you. It may or may not give your exact address, so you can change it if it needs to be manually by editing there. No one will see this address. Don't worry. We at Galora are concerned for your privacy and your security, and we do not publish your home address. Don't worry. Even if you put it in here, it will not be seen on the public site. It is here only to control the map function. However, it is not necessary for you to put the entire address. It's completely up to you. You can put 900 whatever, your own zip code right there, and that will be close enough to put the map dot in the right place to give an idea to the hungry neighbor where you are. You can give your address at a later date in a private message to somebody who contacts you. Then you click submit listing and you're almost done. Now if you didn't miss something, then it's going to remind you, oops, share options is a required field. That's right, I forgot to click which share option. So I'm selling it for free. I'm giving them away for free. No price up there, so I'm going to put yes for free, and I'm going to try to submit this listing again. And now that we've clicked all the right boxes, we've done everything that's required, we could skip some that are optional. We can now be guaranteed that this listing will be live in just a few seconds. So we're going to wait for this to happen, and as soon as it does, we'll get a confirmation screen that lets us know that your listing has been listed successfully, and you can click it here to see your listing live on the site, but I like to go over to my listings inside of my profile by drop down menu there to see all of the listings that I have made. Here's the one we just made, yummy lemons grown at home, juicy, and all of these other listings I have made. Each one of these markers indicates a different listing that I have made, and if you have lots of crops, you should make one listing for each one of your crops so we can control independently. Later on, if you want to go back, you can edit your listing. You want to add more pictures, take some pictures away, add some recipes, upload a video, anything you want. You can even delete it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the entire process to creating a listing on the new Galora website. I hope you found this to be simple. In the process of doing your own listing, please let me know if you have any ideas how we can make it better. If there's anything that's confusing, if you think we can clarify anything, I want to hear from you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your enthusiasm. And don't forget that as soon as somebody is enthusiastic enough about your crop and they want to reach out to you, there's a button that they can click called Message the Grower, and you're going to receive a direct message notification in your inbox, in your email, to let you know that you've got a message here on Galora, and you should come and respond to this interested, hungry neighbor and put something together so that you can hand your locally grown, delicious produce to a willing and excited neighbor. Thank you so much for helping make the Galora sharing website dream closer to reality. If you know anyone who's growing at home, if you know hungry neighbors who are interested in finding amazing local food, please share this idea. This is an idea that will grow and grow if we water our amazing project. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm. Let's do this. Let's go Galora.